Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ask the Accountant, your weekly live episode from myself and Mr. Patrick. Aaron, how are you bobbling over there?
Very good. I do love our intro. I think our intro's just got that little bit of, just gets you going in the morning, doesn't it? You know, that Monday morning, first thing people hear. Yeah.
Definitely. Welcome all. Thank you very much for joining us as always. Good morning to our viewers. So good morning to Cheryl, good morning to Paul, good morning to Natasha, good morning to Paul, and good morning to Dave. As always, guys, if you've got questions you want to ask, you've got any input, any comments on what we're discussing, please feel free to stick it in the comments. Also, good morning to Kirsty, Stephanie, and to Sue.
Someone's come on LinkedIn and not Instagram for the first time. Welcome. I mean, it means you get to actually show your interaction. So it's always better. Oh, we've got another one as well.
Oh, and good morning to Plaster Moldings. Right. Cool. Okay, folks. So it's going to be a busy week. Aaron, how was your week last week?
Nice and chilled, to be honest, and like calm before the storm, and nice. Just what you need really for this week, right? What was yours like?
I spent the last 4 days in York for my wedding anniversary.
So beautiful.
Nice. Yeah. Stupid amount of steps every day, just walking around everywhere.
And York's lovely, right? Like it's such a lovely place.
Yeah, we walked the city walls. We went down for a river trip. Sat outside next to the river and had a pint, and lots of good food and stuff. So yeah, absolutely fantastic 4 days, recharged, ready to go for this week because it's going to be busy.
And you've got a holiday planned for the week after, right?
No.
No, nor have I. Damn it.
I have a feeling I'm going to be too busy for the following few weeks because Engage has got a huge timetable for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, no chance for a break there. But yeah, so shall we go through the timetable of events coming up, right? So it is currently 8:34 in the morning on Monday. Aaron, after this, I believe you're going to head off to get a train.
No, drive, but yeah.
Oh, you're driving. So driving over to Manchester, how long is that going to take you? A couple of hours?
Yeah, a couple of hours. Yeah, that's why we like Manchester, right? It's as close to the middle we can get for us, both of us, right?
Yeah, it's a lot easier. And while you're doing that, I'm jumping on a train down to Manchester, Transpennine Express. Oh. So I may or may not make it. I don't know. But we will see. To be fair, I can't fault the price. £75 return ticket, first class. Happy days.
Is it first class though?
Proper first class.
Okay, fair play.
Because it was so cheap. So I had that whilst I could. So get there for mid-afternoon and stuff. And then it begins the craziness that is the next couple of weeks, or the next couple of days at least. So we get there mid-afternoon. Then somehow we need to set up the Ask the Accountant podcast pit stop booth.
Half set up. This is going to be. We'll talk about why.
While we're doing that, I'm also making sure the Engager booth is set up and ready to go because it's our first exhibition. So
let's just talk about that. Like your first Engager, like this is big. This is big boy pants time, right? Like this is, you want to make the best impression. And the best thing for you is Manchester's the perfect place for it, right? You're going to be on level play field of everyone else there. They're one or two slightly bigger stands, but most people have the same size stand, right?
Yeah, we identified Accountex Manchester nearly 18 months ago as our first exhibition plan. That was the first one we were going to go to as Engager. We're going to have a stand because before, like last year, it was like, we're not ready. There's no point in spending a significant amount of time and money going to an event to be told feedback we already know. Like, you need this feature, you need that feature. I'll look at it when you've got this feature. So it's like, right, fine. No point in going to be paid to be told that because we know. So right, this year's the year, but Accountex London is just phenomenal. But oh my god, it's huge. We're gonna get lost in the crowd there. Whereas Accountex Manchester, absolutely ideal. A one-day event, so the team can stay fresh for the whole day. The whole atmosphere there is incredible. It's much more laid back. As you say, everyone's got a more level playing field. You have companies coming in and spending hundreds of thousands of pounds to dominate a quarter of the floor plan or something daft, because no one's allowed to. So we're really excited by that. The whole team's going to be there, including our developers, who will be around and about, snooping around, having a look what's going on.
Incognito, if you will.
Yeah, incognito mode, just chatting to people, so they can get a bit of feedback on stuff, basically. So yeah, first exhibition. I mean, last week we celebrated crossing 1,000 paying firms as well. So the fact that we're going to our first exhibition with over 1,000 paying firms using Engager already is a fantastic base. So we're going to be able to meet lots of our users and hopefully meet lots of people that aren't using us yet and sign up to us. So that's Engager's first day. But before we get to that, once we've set up the stands, you're going to become very busy. I'm going to go and train and do briefings with Ash and the team about what to expect tomorrow, because Ash and I are the only ones that have done these events before.
Seriously?
Andy T hasn't done one of these events before.
Wow.
Andy Wainwright has attended some of these events, but only in recent times. The rest of the team have attended these events, but not very often. So, as you and I know, attending is one thing. Exhibiting is quite the other. So there's going to be lots of briefings and training and discussions about that tonight with the team at Engager. But while we're doing that, over a pint and a burger or something, quite relaxed, you're going to be a busy boy, because you've just become a media company by all accounts.
Well, that's the accountant has, we've branched out.
I heard BBC News were in touch about some live streaming opportunities.
Yeah. So anyone and please, because the amount of work that we've put in to get this, Digital Disruptor Awards is happening tonight. If you can't be in person, then it's being live streamed, and it's being live streamed by Ask the Accountant. So we are going to be moving our whole podcast pit stop. Well, the video side of it, at least. We're moving that from the convention center to, luckily it's literally over the road, to the Impossible. I think it's called the Impossible area or something like that. And then we're going to be actually creating the live stream solution. So we're going to have multiple cameras. Audio, thankfully, has been set up by them. All that's going to be fed in. And the idea is that there's going to be a podcast at the beginning to kind of start warm the place up. Then there's going to be the awards, and then there's a podcast afterwards. And all three of those events we're going to be live streaming as Ask the Accountant. And yeah, scary big boy pants time as well, because there is a lot of things that could go wrong in this.
A lot of things.
Yeah. So, but it'll be fun, right? Like, the idea is that it means that anyone who is watching who can't be there, they can interact, they can send messages through, just like we are now, just like we've got Kirsty saying she's going to be watching tonight, fingers crossed. Like, we could bring that message into the thing and into the conversation. So as we're having a podcast about some really tasty topics, people can be involved as well. So yeah, exciting, but scary. Yeah, very, very scary. But it'll be good fun, right?
It's going to be incredible if it goes well. But I have to say, you're a brave man, because we've only gone live once, right? On location. We've only gone live once on location. It went okay.
There was so many technical issues there, wasn't it? But we didn't have Lizzie. Like, I think Lizzie's like that's who you need, right? You need someone who's got an eye for that sort of stuff. And me and you are great at the tech side, and we will make the tech work one way or another. Doesn't matter how many times. We probably have to kick it a few times to make it work, and add a bit of coal here and there. But you need someone with an eye of detail, don't you? And that's where producer Lizzie just comes in and just goes, right, boom.
Yeah.
So yeah, go for it. Shall we just quickly go through some messages we've had?
Go through the comments.
Plaster says, "Does anyone like Manchester?" Well, we definitely like the hotel.
We like the location.
Where are we staying?
We love the hotel.
Where are we staying?
Because we're staying in Brewdog Hotel again, aren't we?
We certainly
I don't know what the Engager team are staying in, but I'm staying in Brewdog Hotel.
Which is going to make tomorrow interesting when it's like, I don't know about you guys, but we're trying to get there for 7, literally doors opening. So what is it going to be? 6 o'clock, 6:15 in the shower? Is that the time to be having a shower beer? We'll find out.
One way or another.
Got to brush your teeth somehow, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So yeah, Manchester, we do like Manchester plaster moldings, but we love the hotel. Good morning to Borsch. Have I butchered that? Hopefully I haven't, Borsch. But yeah. And Natasha says, looking forward to a Countex tomorrow. It's a long day for me traveling there. Wow, they're about the same day, Natasha. Oh, to make it worthwhile though, make sure you come to Ask the Accountant's booth. We have a very special surprise for you, Clive, Ariona, Lucy, Paul, and who else we had co-host lately? Who's been a co-host of? Oh, Tim. Sorry, yeah, good one. Yeah. So every person who's been a co-host on Ask the Accountant in the last year, do make sure you nip over to Ask the Accountant, because we've got some new top trumps being released today. Oh, tomorrow, isn't it? Including a very special gold one, haven't we? Yeah, very special gold one.
I believe so.
Wonder what that one. Wonder what that could be.
Who knows?
Kirsty says she's watching, so looking for it. So excited for the live stream, says Stephanie. See, this is why you should be in on LinkedIn and not on Instagram. You get to put your messages out there. So excited for live streams, and you all look for the awards too. Victoria says, "Good morning, chaps." Good morning to you. And then Stephanie says, "Are we being brave or stupid?" I mean, you've got your meal. That's why you can't be there, right? But I bet you're really happy that's worked out that way around.
My hairline could probably not handle the stress of it. I mean, this is huge challenge potentially. I mean, fair play to you for taking it on, because when you got approached by the digital disruptors to do it, you already knew fair well that Johann's not got a chance of being there. Like, it's the Engager.
One man down already, right? Yeah.
You're already missing a 33% of your team. So yeah, good luck. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I will be live streaming it if I can, whilst having discussions, because with the team, because there's some potential results that we are slightly interested in, shall we say?
There's some others that have been announced, haven't they? Should we go through the other ones that have been announced just while get those up though? Marcus is there. Good boy. Speaking of podcast pit stop, Marcus, tell everyone what it was like to be on the podcast pit stop. Was it as daunting as it looks? Although we are booked up again. Natasha, do come over. We've got something for you. And Tim, make sure Tim gets there as well, Kirsty. And Kirsty, you've been on as well. So anyone who has been on the podcast pit stop, put your little comments in. Like, how is it something that should be daunting? Are we, with that? Because we are already booked up, but we're definitely looking to put some extra slots in if we can. Have you got them, Jan, or do you want me to have a look at my end?
I'm finding them great. The problem is they've not actually posted these on their own LinkedIn page or website. It's dotted over on personal profiles.
I mean, I've even gone to the Digital Disruption website. You'd have thought at least on the website you'd see it, but no. Not there.
No, it's a bit all over the place. But basically, Digital Firm of the Year nominees were announced on Tuesday, which include Mazuma Accountants.
I think you should really stop that. As a Digital Firm of the Year, they've built their own app.
I mean, it's pretty much, this Bofix entry, I don't know what that one's about. Got no chance.
I mean, if you're going to say digital, you're going to say Bofix,
Thorn Wigley, Aligned Accounting, Bofix, Complete HQ, Principal Point, Cloud 10 Accounting, Gravitate Accounting, another big name there.
I mean, yeah. Although, in fairness, that they are like, I mean, they're one of the podcast pit stops, so we're going to talk to them and find out live after the event, pretty much, about how they felt the awards went.
Yeah.
But they will say themselves, they don't see themselves as a digital firm, because they are way more like they are the proper personal touch one. So be interesting, like how do the judges kind of see that? Like, obviously they push to be zero and they use cloud-based technology, but do they really embrace it? It'll be really interesting to see how that goes. But then again, I think Lucy's won it anyway. So
I'm confused by.
Go for it.
This is no disrespect to the organization whatsoever, because I was part of it for a long time, and I think they're incredible at what they're doing to help small softwares break into the accounting space. But the early adopters hub.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
How is that fitted into Digital Firm of the Year? Because they're not.
Surely they should be the Prodigy Child, right? You'd have thought, because they are. Yeah. Well, no, they're not new though, are they? So
they're not an accounting firm, or a bookkeeping firm. They're just. It's an organization that's been put together to help facilitate softwares to market research and test their product before, and then to work out how they launch it into the industry. Absolutely great, led by Johann, not this Johann, different Johann.
I was going to say, you have a lot of hats.
Those meetings were really stressful. Johann, hello? No, not that one, the other one. Sorry.
The one that has authority around here.
Yeah. So yeah, that one doesn't. I don't know how that sits, but yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting one. That one. The other one that's been announced is Prodigy Child, but I can't find it anywhere. But I know Engager is listed on that, one of the two Engager listings, which is exciting. You know what?
I mean, there's controversy with that though, because Prodigy Child isn't Prodigy Child. I mean, if you look at their, let me, in fact, before I go and put something in my, have they changed it? If I go to
be that individual business or app,
yeah, it definitely says that, right? Like
reading off the website.
So if they, so why is it only vendors on there? Because I know people were also put in for that one. So maybe they changed it. Maybe they've decided they're
very odd. But what's interesting is they've not announced nominations for Digital Ditchwater of the Year.
I think that's on purpose, right? I don't think people want to be nominated for that.
Put it this way. I've already heard a few software vendors say if they announce us, we're doing them for slander. So like, I think that's a really, really tricky position.
Is it just software, or could it be podcasts? Like, are we up for that one? You know the mess that one between us. We've made a few howlers before, but I don't think much goes worse than absolutely getting something wrong and then ruining the actual apology as well. So
you could be up for this. Yeah. Basically, biggest mess up of the year: the Wooden Spoon Award. A system fall over, a terrible release, or foot in mouth moment. What had people up in arms? I mean, so many options there. So many options.
Yeah, this year alone.
Pricing recently.
X pricing. Like, there's... Well, you take away the pricing as well. What about softwares that have launched like 2.0s and not had feature parity?
Yep. No, I mean, I'm guessing that award winning company won't be there to pick it up.
I think I've got to be ready on the cut live stream moment at that point. We've got a whole asset for technical difficulties. We might have to use that one for that one.
But we in this virtual room have some nominations ourselves, don't we, Aaron? So you, sir, are up for Digital Disruptor Dietary.
Yeah. This is the only one I have. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I'm honored to be put forward to it, but I don't believe I belong in that category. Digital Disruptor Award, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll disrupt anything digitally.
Not lifetime service,
but not lifetime service. No,
that, right?
So yeah, and there's some epic people in our industry that need to be recognized for that, right? Like that should be like the award where it's only certain people. They should only be like in my 4-3 nominees, right? And it should just be right. Here are the ones who have been absolutely smashing it in our industry. They need to be recognized just to be nominated, right? I mean, again, I'm grateful to the nomination, but I do believe that's one where that one should be a thing. But what else? Because you got nomination from that as well, all right?
Yep. But I mean, as I've been saying, like, so Engager's got 2 different award nominations. I've got 2. I think you've got 2. Boffix has got 1, and Lizzie's got 1 as well.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at the names we're up against, like, just the fact that people have taken the time to nominate us,
exactly,
that'll do. Like, I don't do this whole self-nominating thing. So the fact that
you weren't allowed to for this one, right? Like, this was a.
I don't know. But the fact that others have spent the time to put me forwards for anything, then that's hugely humbling, and quite frankly, that will do me.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting to walk away with any awards, neither is Engager as such. If we do,
if anything, it'll be awkward for you because you'd have to put your burger down, travel over Manchester.
I'll call you. You can put me through on the video phone. It'll be all right.
I'll have to put like a please wait 20 minutes while he's on the tram.
Let me call a friend. But yeah, so yeah, we've got that one. Digital Prodigy Child, Engager's been nominated for that.
And who else were you up against? Are you up against that one? Have you found that one?
I can't find that one.
Okay.
I don't think. No, can't find that one because that one came out on Tuesday. It was a bit odd. Digital Firm and Prodigy Child came out on Tuesday after we'd already done all of our socials for it.
Yeah. And all of them said there's 2 weeks to go. So I've got a feeling these were supposed to come out sooner. Yeah. Let's do them.
Release of the year, Engager is up there as well for that, but that's a hugely contested section. Including
which release would you put? You could have gone on there multiple times this year, right? Like
52 times, one for each week of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Digital Disruptor of the Year, you and I are both in there. Again, humbling, but when you look at the other people in that space,
I feel more comfortable in that one though. I feel like we do, like this podcast alone, right? We've ruffled a few feathers. We're happy to talk about the industry. We're happy to, like, both of us are just passionate about the digital side of it, right? The softwares and hardwares and everything else. That one I feel more comfortable about, and
Digital Firm of the Year, so we've just gone through those. Digital Marketing of the Year, Lizzie, our own Lizzie is in there, so good luck to her tonight.
Fingers crossed for that one. If we could will any into existence, I think that's the one I would personally want to see.
We know how much work she does behind the scenes for us. And
exactly.
I'm not being funny. She manages us both. I mean, fair play to her. Because I'd have given up a long time ago if I was her.
I mean, I'm easy. You know, I'm easy for it. On you, on the other hand. Why is he not here? Why is he over there? Put that microphone where it should be, Johann. The amount of telling off.
Microphone. Sorry. And then the Digital Ditchwater of the Year award, which that one's interesting.
I cannot wait for that one.
I can't wait to see the legal fallout.
I can't wait just to have just to listen to what's happening. I'm going to try my best for that one particular award to make sure we get the gasp of the audience on the live stream.
Or the cheer. One of the two.
I might try it because I know certain people there, like Chris Downing's there. I might try and get a microphone in front of him just to see his audible of it.
Fantastic. But yeah, so look, it's a first time event. It's very exciting to see. It's humbling that we've all got the amount of nominations we've got in there. So yeah, huge thanks to everybody that has voted us up.
Thanks.
So that's tonight, and then there's a pod off where you are going up against Digitals in a Cruel World, Six Figure Bookkeepers as well. So that should be fun.
Some very tasty one, including why is it? What have influencers ever done for us? Oh, ouch! So, and that's after a few bevies as well. So who knows where that one's going to end up?
Yeah. To be able to post that, have you got to blow a certain level on a breathalyzer to confirm that you're drunk enough to be having the free chat?
I hope so. I do hope so on that one. But I think that's something we've got to try and will into existence as well with Ask the Accountant going forward. The idea of a live pod off, I think, is very, very exciting. We kind of did it at Accountex a couple of years back, didn't we? When we had us versus Digital Accrual Worlds, Tools in the Accrual World podcast on at the same time. But this one's being live streamed, and I'm really excited. Really excited. They wouldn't go with the topics I wanted, which was all put forward like QuickBooks versus Xero. They were like, no. QuickBooks would win too much. Like, we just don't have a defense for it. Do you know what I mean? I thought, could at least try. One of the ones was accountants versus bookkeepers. And I was sat there going, now, if there's way of us getting cancelled,
this is it. Johann will be hearing a shot. Right. So that's tonight. Tomorrow morning, cracking start of the day, early doors, 7 o'clock. We're going to be in there. We've got to finish setting up the booth for the podcast pit stop,
which we've never done before, and that's worrying me. Like that's playing on my mind.
But podcast pit stops fully booked already. Like absolutely slammed. Now,
top trumps are ready.
The new ones are ready. New releases. But now hats off to Aaron, because he is basically doing all but one of those interviews.
We roll you out for the celebrity one, don't we?
But purely because I'm just going to be so busy with Engager on the day, so that's fine. But for those that haven't had a podcast pit stop or seen what we do, it's a 20-minute fixed, scripted kind of questions interview where we talk about you, we talk about why you come to these events, we talk about the challenges in the industry and what excites you. We then produce that as a mini episode to be released in the coming weeks. Now, several of our viewers have attended and been on such podcasts. So let's go through them. So Kirsty loved the podcast pit stop at Fab, and it was very enjoyable, really good fun.
Yeah, she was a brilliant guest, wasn't she?
Yep. Marcus from Zama said it's not as daunting when you're with these friendly fellas.
And maybe we need to get him on now. He's had a career change.
He was with Swoop last time he was with us. So we need to get back on and chat all things Zama with
Marcus, get yourself signed up.
What, for the next event next year?
Yeah, unfortunately, we could try. We could create some more slots. I mean, there's something called a dinner break that Lizzie's put in there. I don't know what that's all about. I mean,
bloody Lizzie, welfare concerns.
Yeah, just because there's a few things called HR floating around. You know what I mean?
Just pour it down my throat halfway through the blooming session. It'd be fine. Paul W says, I enjoyed the pit stop, was fun and relaxed, almost informal chat with Johann.
Another good one. And I'm gutted you're not going to be there, Paul. We do have something exciting to pass, but we'll try and figure out how to get it to you one other day.
Yep. I think that's all the feedback on those ones. We'll just go through the comments anyway while we're here. Susanna says, morning all, good morning. Kirsty wishing good luck to Lara Manton, who is shortlisted, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday to
I mean, let's be honest, when you're talking digital disruptor, apart from the fact she supports Xero, that but everyone has their flaws, right? We can't all
be perfect.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're nearly 100 episodes in and people haven't worked out how to be perfect based on us yet. So Paul can't make Manchester as it falls on the same day as a governing body seminar. Tim says, surely Engager should win the release of the year.
Releases
of the year, yeah. And Dave also says support for Engager. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Sue Green says pit stops were like a fireside chat. She loved it.
Amazing. And great guest. Yeah.
Kirsty says, while we're talking about awards, let's make sure we remember the ICB awards are now open to be voted on by ICB members, and she's put the link in the comments in LinkedIn for us. Thank you very much, Kirsty.
Love that. Yeah, and that'll be a good night, right? We are. Can we say that? Are we allowed to say that we're going to be there?
No, that's embargoed.
Okay, we're not allowed to say that. So whatever I just said, I didn't say.
Right, it'll mess up the apology next week as well now.
I will, because I won't be in this place. I mean, I might be on a taxi for the 100th episode. So yeah, I definitely will mess up for that one.
Okay. Right, moving on swiftly. So podcast pit stops all day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Engager are going to be there. Come and see us.
Anything we should be looking at from Engager? Is there any swag or anything like that?
Where do we start? So tomorrow we've got a huge partnership announcement, which will be massive. So I can't go into any of that. It will be announced to our Facebook community group this evening. So because we always give them first view of everything. I will then announce it on social media at 7:00 tomorrow morning, so people know what it is, so they can come and talk to us about it. And there'll be content posted throughout the day about it across.
And do you reckon Grid Walk? There'll be anyone there from Engager to talk to on the Grid Walk? I mean, little bias from you talking to.
Ash will be there, I'm sure. So yeah,
I mean, this isn't an Andy thing, right? Like, let's not put Andy on this one. Let's.
Andy's not getting there till 10 anyway, so.
Wait. Andy's not coming for your burger night.
He's having a burger with us tomorrow night as well.
You're having 2 burgers.
2 burgers.
Okay, we might gate crash that burger, by the way. Just putting it out there.
So we've got our huge partnership announcement. We will be able to show everyone the document designer, which is launching on the 23rd. So I showed everyone.
Even Lizzie likes it. I mean, that's high praise, right?
It is. She normally ridicules us. So
everything else as well.
The difference is when she ridicules us, we normally change things. I've known her ridicule other softwares and do nothing about it. So
yep.
So this document designer, I demonstrated that live last week for the first time. We'll be talking about that this week at Accountex. We will also be talking about our new import sheet, making it even easier to import your clients from other softwares and Excel spreadsheets. Because you're going to be able to import everything basically. Brilliant. Yeah, exciting times. That goes live on the 23rd as well. And then swag-wise, we have got bookmarks.
Ooh.
Little paint pots, which say, cool. What's your company? What's your firm grow? And inside that is a plant that will grow. So seeds, compost, all in there, ready to go. You open the lid, water it, and off it goes.
Who needs a cactus these days? You know what I mean? Like, we moved on from cactuses.
I find cactuses don't really grow very quickly.
This one definitely hasn't. It's brown. Is it supposed to be brown?
No, I think it's meant to be green. But yeah, so it was that. What's your firm flourish or something like that? We had many a debate over the wording.
I love that.
So yeah.
So if it's a bookmark, does that you recommend people bring their favorite book along with them as well?
I mean, they can.
Hey, I tell you what, you could bring your favorite book and you can have Apron's book club. Carry it over there. You see what I mean? Like synergies.
Yeah, synergies. So we're expecting a very busy day tomorrow for Engager, which will be great. So I'm quite looking forward to not speaking.
I know. Yeah.
It's quite a relief, if I'm honest. It's great to be up there, but it's a lot of effort. And it's a huge time drain on the day itself when you've already got so much to do. So, yeah, looking forward to having a more focused day, shall we say?
Yeah. And that's what you need to do, right? Like, there's going to be people with questions, and you're going to want to talk to the community. It's your chance to give back to the community, right? Like, this is your opportunity. And if you were here, and everywhere, people would just, wouldn't work. So, you're doing the right thing. And it's, like when you think about when we first started here, we've now got 2 booths. It's crazy, isn't it? When you think it through,
it's a little bit insane. And then on Monday next week, Marcus starts with us as head of sales. So
yeah,
I've got this.
your
Everything
lead
goes to
F1 supporter, you know,
Yeah.
in Engager. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Ash has been to the same amount of races as you.
Marcus has been to many.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, exciting times. Really busy couple of weeks for us.
Amazing.
So yeah, and then what else have you got on this week?
To be honest, this week after that is just get my head down, get some work done, because next week, the 100th episode is at risk because I'm off to Liverpool and the Labour Party conference with a quick book. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Yeah, I'll keep my opinions to myself on that one, I think, because yeah, exactly. But no, it'd be good. Be good. Yeah, it's gonna be good fun. I mean, it's a busy couple of weeks, right? Like Engager's got so much on, everything's got so much on. It's gonna be crazy. And then before we know it, it's Counting Excellence Awards, ICB Awards, all those sort of things are going to be around the corner as well. So we'll see how that goes.
All coming up. So, Aaron, last week, before we go into a couple of tech news updates that you and I quite liked, last week you mentioned someone had made a dig on you on social media, and Ryan Percy even made a comment about influencers on LinkedIn and various points that irritate him, which got a lot of traction. To be fair, it was
did
lots of interesting comments on that. But tell us about your comment.
Yeah, so I teased it last week, and we've been trying to bring this as a regular feature, social media post of the week, where we scour the social media, try and find some post that's interesting, and have a little chit chat about it on the show. This one is, I'll save the name till the end, but it says, I'll go through not word by word, but we'll go through most of it. Okay, so over the past year, I've noticed only that I can describe as some pretty childish behavior in terms of how some people view or comment on different bookkeeping software. It may be tongue in cheek, but even so, I'm not a fan. So they then go on to say how they've created a brand new YouTube channel to go through. And in fairness to them, some really good content they've created, comparing the 5 providers, Sage, Zoho, Free Agent, Xero, and Intuit QuickBooks. And the reason I bring it up is because Ash,
Zoho?
I know, right? Ash Beeston, you've just called me out. So that's why I bring this.
He used to be your friend. He used to do QuickBooks.
Yeah, we used to be co-host, and this what happens. Like, you know, you leave the co-host, and then you just come out with daggers and stab that dagger directly in my back. But my whole thing for this is, he is right. Like, there has been some childish ones. I mean, we don't want to bring it up, but there was a certain trainer gate that happened about 6 months ago that didn't go down too well between QuickBooks versus Xero. But I do think like this is one of those things where bit of tribal, bit of banter between them on is actually a good thing. I think having that to and from that's how these things happen. Like, that's how innovation comes about. That's how we get kind of those conversations and everything else. And if both those software or all 5 of those software, like you said, Xero is a weird one, but yeah, if all 5 of those software were completely the same, we'd be having a pretty boring place, wouldn't we, as an industry?
We would. Yeah, and I mean, as you say, for the most part, it is actually banter.
Yeah.
And friendly backwards and forwards. Yes, some people have got a bit emotionally involved and started blocking people, and quite frankly, they need to grow up and stop letting their feelings get hurt by what is ultimately banter.
Yeah.
Some people have taken it too far, but I think we just need to have a refocus on the purpose behind it. Ultimately, is to drive innovation. We need that one-upmanship, otherwise we aren't going to get better and better products. So.
Yeah. And I love his take on it. I love his videos of like comparing all of them, because it's interesting to see. Like bank reconciliation was one of the topics he brought up, and long time we've been saying how, you know, Free Agent needs a proper bank reconciliation. If I'm honest, Xero definitely needs one. You know, like if it wasn't for the likes of Intuit and Sage showing how a proper bank reconciliation is going to be, we wouldn't get that in the restaurant, right? And I know Zero have one on the way now. They've seen the error of their ways and they're building a full-blown bank reconciliation. So the annoying thing is once they've released that, I have nothing to moan about.
I'm sure you'll find something.
I'm gonna have to dig deep, I think, is what the problem is going to be, right? But that's how it's going to be, isn't it? At some point, we're not going to be able to have these. They're going to be minute details and differences between the softwares, and that's only a good thing. Like you said for Engager, right? Like the reason you didn't launch your thing this time last year was because you didn't want to be sat there and not be feature parity with your competitors. Now you can be, and that's because of innovation, right? And that's because, and arguably now you have more features than your competitors. But
superiority is what we call it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the point, because then someone else will be like bring something else out that you've not even thought about, and then and it'll develop over time. And it's exactly how it needs to be, and it gives us conversation topics, right? We can sit there and debate and argue and bring it on. And they couldn't bring it for the Digital Disruptor Awards because QuickBooks is just so superior, but one day we'll be able to have that conversation on stage.
One day you'll be able to compare Jax and Intuit Assist. I don't know when that's going to be, because wasn't Jax meant to come out last month?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that. Did they say which August?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. Which August are they saying that accountants aren't needed anymore? Which was their original launch message for Jax. But less said that about the better, I think. I don't think they like us reminding them about that bit, do they? For some reason,
no.
Don't know why.
But yeah, madness. Right, tech news. 15 minutes left, Aaron. So let's do some tech news. I think there's one fairly quick topic. One topic might need a bit longer.
Go for it.
So, quick topic first. Elgato. Now, I think we missed. Well, I saw it, but I didn't cover it because I was too busy talking about accounting and bookkeeping outside, but within the UK area. But you were skiving off in Las Vegas, I think, at the time of release. But Elgato have released an update for their Stream Deck.
They have.
Now, this is for the Stream Deck Plus? Yes. Hang on. This is for this one with the knobs and stuff.
But audio listeners, he's now showing his Elgato Stream Deck Plus.
Amateur hour, sorry. But the idea is that there's now a module that you can plug into the back of your Stream Deck Plus.
And where did that come from? No one talked about it, right? But apparently it's been out for like 6 months or so, and people have on YouTube have had it there in plain sight and no one's noticed.
Bizarre. But yeah, so there's 2 modules. One is a USB bank, basically.
Yeah.
So you can plug in lots of USB stuff and charge things, etc. And the other one is basically converting it into a audio station, because you've got mic inputs, which basically means you don't have to spend £100 or £200 on a Rodecaster Pro.
Not more than 100, but yeah.
Yeah, awkward. But now, if you're getting started in podcasting and you don't want to spend money on a Rodecaster, you can buy the Stream Deck, the plug-in, and you can have a decent mic plugged into that easily. Yeah,
100%. I think it's a genius move. I can't believe no one saw it coming, as in, like, no one even thought about it. Because there is, like, when you kind of look at it, it seems like it was built for this all along. And obviously it was, like, that was the point of it, right? But yeah, I have the Elgato XLR adapter, the one prior to this, the one that's just standalone. Really nice bit of kit, for if I'm out and about and I just need a quick little audio interface, perfect. It throws it in your bag. This, though, like you said, as a podcast starting point, can't think of anything better out there at the moment, because we always say the Stream Deck itself is really powerful and useful, like clicking between buttons and stuff. And I've seen some really clever like implementations of it in the world of bookkeeping, create invoices and bills directly from one button, those sort of things. But to have all your audio interface, I think it's a clever way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And it's interchangeable. So if you don't need it to do that, and you've got the USB one, and you need more USB sockets that day, then you can do that. I think very clever. And what else can they bring out in the future for it?
That's it. Now it's modular. Like there's so many options there, isn't there?
I mean, this is basically Thunderbirds 2 of the Stream Deck now, right? You work out the job at hand or the mission, and you plug in the right part.
I mean, it was always the yellow Thunderbirds 5, or whichever one it was, Thunderbird, whatever. Yeah. Ugh. Damn it. Never brought in something else out, did they? But yeah, you're right. Hey, I think this is great. I think, anyone out there who hasn't jumped onto the Elgato Stream Deck yet, this is a good time to do it. Good time to do it.
Definitely. Okay. And in other news, Apple had an Apple event last week.
Oh, no. Elgato wise, there's another update as well. So anyone who thinks that they haven't got enough buttons on their Elgato Stream Deck, they have released a new one that you can now have as a rack mounted. And I think it comes up with like 50 different buttons if you really want to go for it. Probably not for us, but one of the updates that is really important, I think something that people should be looking out for, is that Elgato prompter. So for anyone who doesn't know, the prompter itself is the idea of you connect your camera to it, and you can then have in front of the camera whatever you want to have there. And the beauty of the Elgato prompter is you can even just share screen. So if you've got your screen as I have in front of me now, I could have that whole thing on there. I don't have to have fancy software or anything. And I could look into the camera while like reading off whatever I want to read off. So for engagement, for having that thing, even just for putting on your Teams or your Zoom calls, right? Having it directly there makes a huge difference because you're looking directly at the person, right? And you're having that engagement. Love it. And the update they've just brought is a voice kind of listening option for it, so that if you are using their software to do the actual script, so if you're using it for an actual prompter, having it go through there, it's now voice activated. So as you're talking along, it will follow the words that you're saying. And if you mess up and go, no, I'm going to do that again, it will then go back to the top wherever it wants, and then you can start reading through. Really, really clever. And it's the sort of thing that prompters, they need that bit of innovation because it's a skill to do it. Like, it sounds simple, right? Oh, I'm just reading off the screen, but actually there's a skill involved in getting it right. And one of the hardest thing is getting that pace right and everything else. But this, because it's just following you're in control of the pace. If you want to speed it up, you talk quicker. If you want to slow it down, you just talk quicker, and it will follow you, go through and go. And if you go off script, it sits there waiting until it hears you then going back on script. Because you're the same as me, right? Scripts are great, but we don't like reading directly from a script. But if we had those little points that we have to make, so a couple of sentences here that we just got to nail, like that, they're the bits that we've got to do for an ad read or whatever it's going to be, then we can go off on script, and then it will know when we come back to follow it through. I mean, it's really clever. So yeah. Have a look at the Elgato prompter with the new update. I think it's going to be definitely for us accountants, anyone out there looking to do content, anyone doing video calls and stuff like that. I mean, it's a really good investment.
Yeah, definitely. And it's teleprompt. Like, there's a reason I do what I call freeform. Like, I don't use scripts at all because teleprompters are a nightmare for me. However, one that is listening and responds at the pace that I'm talking at, far better. Might go and get myself a new teleprompter then.
Oh, do it.
I'm tempted. Speaking of getting new things though, Apple have made a product announcement. There we go. Segue number 2. Professional at this. So we had an Apple event. Bit frustrating in places, if I'm honest. Like their AirPods Pro 2, that hearing aid feature and hearing test, I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah. But it's interesting they didn't upgrade the Pros, right? Like they stayed the same.
They stayed the same, but they've got a software update.
Yeah.
But like, I know, because I did a hearing test years and years ago, I know there's a band of frequency that my hearing drops out in. It's not enough to justify in the NHS's mind hearing aids or anything like that. But now I've got this ability to have my ears tested with Apple headphones, and when I've got them in, it then compensates for that drop in my natural hearing. I might even hear the wife ask me to do something. A bit risky. I'm going to end up doing DIY for the rest of my life, but I'll be able to hear it properly.
Yeah, and they didn't mention it either, but they've also released the ability for it to do noise cancelling for the person who's on the phone call, right? That's huge.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you take that for granted, right? When you stick, because it's magic, right? You stick it in and all you can hear is the person talking to you because the noise cancelling's kicked in and everything else. But the fact that then the person on the other end also now gets noise cancelling as well, I think, yeah, there is no better set of headphones out there, is there?
No, and the fact that it also tries to work to help reduce the noise damage to your ears now as well.
Yeah,
fantastic bits of kit.
And if you want to spend even more, you can get the Apple AirPods Max, right? I mean, that was a great
new color,
massive upgrade, wasn't
it? 550 quid for a pair of headphones that is now 4 years old with no update for the color.
Scary, isn't it? I mean, they've got USB-C, so maybe be better for plugging into wired, maybe. But even they've not even released a new update for that, so probably not.
No. But the main event was all about the phones, as it always is in September. Now, the iPhone 16 looks incredible. I have to say, you and I were there messaging throughout the session, like as we were watching it live, going, well, what are they holding back for the pros? Because there's that much good stuff in these iPhones. And I'll be honest, there's 2 reasons I've gone pro this year. So I've put my order in. I believe you've made your order.
Yep.
So there's only 2 reasons I've gone pro this year. One is the battery life. The Pro Plus gets 33 hours battery versus 28, I think it was, on the normal phones.
Yep.
Quite frankly, we need every bit of battery we can get, especially at events like Accountex. But the other one was the new camera upgrades. So not to the cameras themselves necessarily, but the software.
Yep.
And the microphones built in to be able to pick out voices and stuff like that. That is incredible. I'm looking forward to that. But they are really the 2 reasons I went pro. I was really for a long time sat there going, I don't need to go pro. Like, I could have got away with an iPhone 16 this time. The differences aren't that big this time, are they? Like, both phones are getting that new capture button, which looks ingenious for being able to use a camera in a more traditional camera style, like an SLR style camera with all your controls and stuff. But yeah, what were your thoughts on the iPhone?
Well, I think definitely 100% this has been the biggest upgrade to the standard iPhone that surely will ever be. Like, that's they've basically made it so that Pro is very much for Pro. I mean, we're getting it because of battery life, and personally I like 120 hertz, but realistically, do we need the Pro? No, not at all. It's not actually designed for us anymore, is it? It is designed for professional photographers, really. That's what it's designed for now.
I mean, technically, if I was getting into podcasting and YouTube and stuff today, I would have a really, really hard time justifying buying any extra kit other than the iPhone and maybe some mics, like wireless mics to go with it.
Yeah, 100%. And even that, their new audio technology, in theory, we've got to test it, right? We'll see how good it is. But in theory, you wouldn't even need that because it would directionally go through. I mean, yeah, I was really impressed with just how much they've improved the standard iPhone, which is the most popular model, right? Like, it's the one that does the business for them. So yeah, really, really impressive. I do kind of worry for next year now. Like, I feel like what are they going to do? There's this rumor about an iPhone Ultra.
Yeah,
I think
Ultra
they need.
thin.
Yeah, they need something, don't they, just to go, look, this is why you justify. Because honestly, it's really difficult to ever ever justify upgrading now once every 3 years, 4 years, 3 years maybe. Personally, for me, the fact that it means that both phones, because I always have to have 2 phones anyway, one for recording, one for not. Both of them being USB-C is a big thing for me, so that's going to be good for the live streaming. Having a USB-C camera, sometimes it can be just as good as my FX3, which is ridiculous. Like we're talking £6,000 camera, and this iPhone can sometimes just be the same quality. Do you know, like that is scary when you think about it like that.
Yeah, definitely is. But yeah, like we could have some really lightweight setups going forwards.
And we need it for some of the things coming, right? Like if jumping on a train, my car is full to the brim at the moment because of all the stuff we need for Accountex and for the digital disruptor awards and for everything else that's there. Like literally, you can't sit in the passenger seat. Like it's that full. So having the option of just being able to jump on a train with a couple of iPhones and a mic setup, there's definitely an appeal to that, isn't there?
Just need the iPad Mini 7 now.
Oh, and there is rumors of another event before the end of the year, isn't there? Yeah.
So that would be good. But yeah,
will it be good though? Because for you, there's definitely no reason for you to upgrade because it's apparently MacBook Pros, isn't it?
Oh, definitely don't need to do anything with that.
But there is rumors of Face ID, and I personally think that's a big enough upgrade. Well, for me, it definitely is. I mean, I'm on an M1, so I'm like,
okay, on an M1, yeah. But I'm on the M3. Like, I can't get rid of a £3,500 laptop and replace it with a £3,500 laptop just because it's now got Face ID. That ain't gonna wash. So
no fun, no fun.
Not at all. But I do quite like the idea of like an iPad Mini or an 11-inch iPad Air or something.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's what Lizzie's got. And then we've got multiple phones, some are statutory on tripods, a couple in hands, filming everything. And she can control and direct everything from that iPad using Final Cut. I think that's incredible.
Yeah. 100%.
And if we can do all of that along with maybe some DJI Pro mics, DJI 2 mics, because they're Bluetooth and they're fantastic quality. The lightweight approach to that is going to be incredible.
Well, we've got the new Rodes, haven't we? The new Interview Pro Rodes. I mean, that's all we need. Like, you're done. Like, we've got the audio quality and everything else, and all in a very lightweight setup. So yeah, excited. I think really good time to be kind of getting your first setup for podcasting or social media, whatever it is you're looking into doing. It's never been at a better time, has it?
No. And Victoria Russell says, I miss my MacBook. Listening to you guys is dangerous. I mean,
please wait until October and see what happens.
£100 in October if you go for the M3. If that is true and they are going to release more stuff. I mean, I went MacBook in 2016 for the first time, knowing I was planning on setting up this business of my bookkeeping and accounting business. I went MacBook then as one of my first investments. Never, ever looked back. Now when any of my team's laptops are coming up to like dying, which is on 3 to 4 year cycle for each one, I now look at it and go, actually, do I get them a MacBook? Because it will last 10 times longer.
All day battery life, just everything. The only comparison now with the Copilot Plus laptops, which for the Microsoft side, and I do have one on pre-order with Microsoft, but they are very difficult to get hold of it, especially because I want the 5G variant. So that means that you stick in a SIM card and it's always got connection, blah, 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 blah. So we'll see how that goes along. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. Okay, what if they gave a 5G modem into the new MacBooks? Would that swing you?
Oh, that would do it. Done.
Sold.
Because that adds huge value. Like at the moment, I drain my phone or my iPad or something using that hotspotting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hotspotting's great, but the best thing about having your own 5G kit is as soon as you pick it up, the email's already there, right? Everything's already like it updates in the background and everything else. It's yeah. I mean, look, we're looking at very, very first world problems here, but yeah, a 5G in a device just makes things so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Victoria said she had her MacBook for 8 years and totally abused it. Right. That's
the thing, right? Because they're indestructible, aren't they? Unless you're Lizzie, who broke 2 now.
I'm not going to ask. But yeah, and that was on an Intel chip 8 years. Like, the new M chips are just going to blow your mind. As Victoria runs off to the Apple store to make a purchase, we'll
wait till October.
Wait until there's an event in October that will announce the M4s or whatever, and the M3s will lose a couple £100 in value and make a cheaper buy, but more than sufficient a bit of kit. So that brings us to the end of the show. We ought to end because Aaron, you've got to go. You've got to go and get in the car if you can fit in the car with all your gear. And I will see you in Manchester if you don't get pulled over for breaching a weight limit on any of the motorways.
If the electric car can make it, that's how it's going to be. Anyone though who's around, do reach out. Like, come and say hi. Both groups, just say hello to us. And get yourself some top trumps. Get yourself a plant. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So, we're really looking forward to seeing everyone. And also on the Tuesday night, I'm sure we'll be around for a beer and a chat as well, because there is now officially a little after party at Accountex, isn't there, that Caroline's putting on?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Lovely. If you're hanging around, have a pint there.
Awesome. Brilliant. And if you can, please log into and watch a Disruptor Awards and give us some positive and
to be fair, when you say if you can, that's not only have you got time to, but is it actually working?
Exactly. Yeah.
I have full confidence you'll be fine.
One way or another, even if it's just off a phone.
The reputational damage this could do to Ask the Accountant could be the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. But especially some of the podcast chats we might have afterwards. So maybe it'll be a good thing if it doesn't go live.
Edit that out. You know what? Yeah. We'll just edit it all out. It'll be fine.
He said what?
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much to everyone that's joined us for all your comments, etc. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. And we will hopefully see as many of you as possible over the next couple of days in Manchester. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all maybe next week.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Watch out for our socials to see what we're doing for next week. We might need to delay the 100th episode for a week, but we'll see.
Potentially. Cheers, everyone. Bye for now.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.